There we go. So, yeah. So in the workshop portion today, that's what we're going to work on is really doing a deep dive into each of your customers' problems that no one's helping them solve. But who would like to tell me about a problem that their customers have that you are working on helping them with now, or realize now that you should maybe help them solve? Anybody got one? I know Sue's got one. Sue, why don't you talk about yours? Because that's kind of fun one to talk about. You're muted now, I think. Just unmute yourself there. Still can't hear you. I don't know why. What's happening? Can't hear you. What's happened to your mic? Just check your microphone out. We'll come back to you, okay? What about Sarah? Sarah, you're sort of new.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I had a sale last week, and I showed the proof and everything. And after what happens is that the person said, "Oh, I wanted something else." But I said I brought the proof. I meant it something else, but the proof was there. There's so many, and there's another one that I want to buy. We want to buy jackets. Usually, I sell jackets with
You sell
the
promotional
design.
products, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Right.
So I sell the apparels with the design too.
Okay.
And when they come out later on, he says, "No, I'm gonna bring the jackets and you're gonna embroider." I wanted just to get rid of him, so I called the embroidery, say, "You know what? I I'm gonna bring the customer, but charge for me because I'm sending to you. So instead of paying $10 and asking for twice as much, so I can get my profit too. But just a little bit. There's nothing."
Right. Now, so I'm going to stop you there for a second. You're talking about your problem with them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's I say below the line, and that's fine. You gotta figure out how you're going to organize your business to deal with that. But the topic here is to transcend that and say, well, what's the problem they have that no one's helping them with, right? Say like in just speculating, okay, is that they're trying to promote their business by having these things, or they're trying to build a team culture. I don't know. It's two reasons why people buy promotional products, or they have an event coming up or something. But if you start looking at it, like you say, well, the problem is they don't have enough customers, or the problem is they don't have their brand isn't very well known in the marketplace. That becomes the issue. And you'd say, well, how can I go beyond just giving them the promotional products to solve that problem, right? So it could be that they have they're the best kept secret trap. Their company is great, people love it, but most people have never heard of their company, right? So
Yeah.
it's the best kept secret problem, right? And then you start saying, well, that's what I'm here to do, is help you solve that. I want you to be very well known, so you're not a big secret to the world. And they go, okay, and that's why I'm going to buy more of your stuff now, because I want to get beyond that problem. So you don't even have to invent something new here necessarily to solve it. It's just that they can understand, well, the reason why you're here is to solve a problem that you've made clear to us. Yeah, you're right. People don't know about us, and they should know about us, and we're the best kept secret, and so on. Do you follow that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's try Sue now. Sue, you're back?
Am I
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Okay, you're good now. So tell people what you
Yay.
do. What business?
So I help condos with communication.
Yeah.
So the basic thing is that we put in screens into their elevators, and they pay us to run content that educates residents about all aspects of life in their condo.
Right.
The bigger picture in the new economy thinking mode is to help them actually with communication. So to go through and just discover how their lack of communication is causing all sorts of problems. They've fallen into the reactive condo trap.
Right.
So the biggest problem is there's too many buildings, not enough managers, and they've been doing the same thing over and over and over again for years and years and years. All they do is print a piece of paper and post it on a cork bulletin board. It's teeny tiny type, and nobody reads it, nobody sees it, nobody gets the information, nobody opens emails anymore. So I'm teaching them how to do creative communication that's big and bright and large, and people can get the message about where to put their garbage or where to park, or what to do, or there's a social event happening somewhere in their building. So that's the problem I'm helping them with now, is to get them off of that old-fashioned PDF Word doc mode and into something big and creative and nice that people can get the message in 4 seconds or less as they're riding the elevator.
People will notice, right? Okay. But there's a bigger problem you're helping them with, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the bigger problem?
Yes. Yeah. Lack of communication and a lack of community. People are angry, they're mad, they're not happy, and they don't know a lot. So basically giving condo owners an education about how to live life
in their condo building. They have no condommunity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Have we dropped that? I don't know.
Right. No condommunity. That's right. You're building condommunity.
Building condommunity, right? So isn't that the biggest problem that they have, actually, ultimately? That they don't, that their
Yes.
their community is not as functional as could be, and it's dysfunctional, right?
That's right. It's dysfunctional.
Yeah. So are you still working on building condommunity or condommunity program, or?
Yes, and actually it's been kind of exciting. I was invited to go to Winnipeg. So I'm going to be doing the scorecard version in Winnipeg at the end of April.
Okay.
So that's kind of exciting to do it in front of a group of people. So it's good practice for me back here in Toronto. And then I have another property management company that wants me to come and speak to all their managers in May at their management meeting. So to teach, because my idea is I'll teach them. I don't need to make your notices for you. I'll teach you how to do it.
Right. I see. Okay. That's good. And maybe exciting. One more person. Dan, what's a big problem you're helping your clients solve that no one's helping them with?
We're still working through it, but it's typically the growth trap. They fall into a growth trap and get stuck at a certain altitude and not able to go to the next altitude. So my company's called Exosphere Coaching, which is the highest level of the atmosphere.
Right.
And just, the metaphor I use is to go through, you live in a troposphere. After the troposphere, you got the stratosphere. From the stratosphere, you go to the mesosphere, to the thermosphere, to the exosphere. And every one of those, if you don't know how to navigate those, your rocket will come back to Earth. Same thing for your company. So if you want to go to the highest altitude of your company, you've got to learn how to avoid the traps that bring you back to Earth, right? That limit your growth.
So what's the name of the problem?
I'm working on it, Bill.
Well, let's come up with a working name. Just you don't have the perfect name. You just so the problem. Why did they come back down to Earth?
Well, in the rocket example, they don't understand the physics of the various atmosphere levels. So in one, you freeze, another, you burn to death, right?
Okay, right. So as the business grows, they go into these higher levels, but they reach a point where it keeps changing the conditions, and then they're not ready for them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like they
have to do this lower level stuff plus the new level.
Yeah,
right?
I thought we had something at one point.
Well, we came up with the higher altitude process.
Right, that's the name of the issue. They have this answer, but the problem was I mean, it could be just the crash and burn trap or something.
It was interesting. I was talking to
losing altitude trap.
Yeah, we were thinking about calling it splat.
Splat, yeah, the splat problem. Yeah,
the splat problem.
Splat problem. So we thought, well, that's evocative, right? Okay, right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not so much worried about the words here or anything. It's just this idea of marketing a problem as opposed to marketing a solution. Because if you market the solution, you just sound like a salesperson.
Yep.
If you market a problem, you're a teacher, right? So that's going to get you more that's just going to get you more people to listen to you because you're talking about the problem, which is their problem, right? When you're talking about the solution, it's kind of like you talking about your thing. So start with the problem and do that, so it's something that's called category killers or something. Like you're basically creating your own category by identifying a problem that you're
Exactly.
uniquely suited to solve, right?
Yep.
I mean, the key is not to make it too complicated, right? That's why the splat probably works fine, right? Penguin, if you make it too complicated, then it's going to be hard for people to
Yes. No, the
understand.
penguin example is just an absolute fantastic example.
What's that?
I said the penguin example is an absolute fantastic example.
Yeah, because it was so simple too. Like I was watching the movie March of the Penguins, and I went, "Oh, there you go. They all look the same." And they were in this show. They were saying, "Well, the penguins all look the same, and penguins can't even tell each other apart, right?" So I thought, "Well, that's it right there. It's the penguin problem," and then I wrote a whole book about it.
Yep.
Right, and in the book, all I said was I was watching this movie called About Penguins, and I thought, you know what? That's exactly it. It's like we're all penguins, and that did it, And so and it was simple, right? It was an object. It was this. It's like the woman that had the silver dollar with bubble wrap. She gave it to people. They were celebrities. She'd give them celebrities. They, what's this? They show, well, you have the fragile money trap. Like I'm going to help you bubble wrap your money because it's very fragile. It could break. If you drop it, it'll break. And a lot of celebrities go broke because they don't bubble wrap their money. So she had kind of an interesting little story there, and it seems silly, but it worked really well for people. Yeah. So that's just something to bear in mind now. Okay, let me go back here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I want to do now is I want to show you. We just got about 15 minutes left. I'm just going to show you something I've just been playing with, and Harvey's been playing with it more. Let me see if I can find it here. Get teed up here for a second. Yeah, here we'll just try this and see what happens here. Okay, it's called Hume. There we go. Working? Yeah, there we go. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
So this is Hume.ai. So you might want to try it. Now, when I tried it earlier, it worked for a minute, and then it said it was overloaded because I think everybody's trying it out right now. But we'll just see what it says. Let's see. I suppose that'll probably work. If I can use the to pick the right microphone. Oh, too bad. It's already demoed out. Let me go here. Maybe I can show you this here. Okay, so it basically won't allow me in. So but here I'll just let me show you how this works here, because basically what it is right, it was out of capacity. So new. Guy camera. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so so I could be talking to this, but it's I'm not set up to do that yet. But what basically you can do is, I've got my camera on. I'm talking to the AI, and the AI is analyzing my facial expressions. And I'm assuming in another guise, it will also, obviously my voice, but right now it's looking at my face, right? So I put my hand up and it went away. Fascinating. So if I would go, it's like horror, like if I went, or
Hey, Bill, let me pause you for a second. Hit the
Yeah.
little embedding plot button right there. Hit the little plus so that everybody can see it. Right there underneath on your, under it says calmness, concentration. To the right, you see that little embedding
embedding
plot, little
plot?
plus.
Okay.
Hit the plus.
Okay.
and then now do what you're doing, and then yeah, keep it just like that, and that way they could see the other graph.
Okay, so it's gonna show, it's gonna change. Oh, it's gonna be moving over, right? So if I go. Or if I'm like. Or like. Sad or happy. Right? So so I like I say, I haven't used this very much, but it kind of fascinates me. It also scares me a bit, but this idea that when you're talking to the AI, it's now going to be able to read you emotionally, as opposed to just, you know, talk to you based on the text you're putting in or the words. It's actually now going to be able to understand how you're feeling, perhaps, right? And it'll get better at that too. So they're thinking that this will be great for talking to people, you know, in a sales environment, obviously, but also in a therapeutic environment. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that, Harvey. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw this and I was like, yeah, I was just amazed. So I would put it, I had my kids on it. My kids brought one of the dogs to see if the dog could communicate. It was kind of funny. Unfortunately, it didn't, but that would have been cool. And so what's interesting is, as you can see, the best part would be to have Bill and I just have a conversation, because if he is not that he lies, but if he were to get hesitant or feeling like a question, it would actually call him out. I saw a video this morning of Lex Friedman and OpenAI Sam Altman talking, and it was very interesting having the video analyzed through this. And you
Right.
could tell that Sam Altman was tired, or it would say it was tired. Now, the little asterisk to remember about this is there's all these studies, there's all the stuff that's been done.
Mhm.
Legally, they can't say this is 100%, because
No.
then if it isn't, they could get sued. So right now, if you look at the fine print, it's saying, well, this shouldn't be used and this and that. But in reality, they are wanting everybody to use this.
Yeah, yeah,
In
exactly.
in my opinion, I think it is a good tool. The fact that they've done so many studies now, what's crazy to me is I haven't played with it yet, but they have I've read about this, but they have an Alzheimer's, I think either Alzheimer's or Parkinson's module that they've uploaded. And so
Mhm.
you could talk to it, and if it thinks you have early Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, one of those two, based on the algorithm, it could call it. Now, at
Wow.
that point, becomes from a doctor's point of view, it becomes a medical device, and they can get sued and whatnot. So it's kind of interesting. Um, Another thing about this that we haven't even touched is the ethics. They are really big on ethics. They don't want the other user not being told that they're being used.
Right.
But in theory, you could, and I'm not proposing anyone should do this, but in theory, you could record the Zooms, upload the Zooms, and then see when that person was speaking, if they were lying or not, or how they were feeling, and you could probably extract. Taking it to the next level, and not to go overboard here, but this camera right now, I don't have the algorithm on it, but I could tell everyone's age, everyone's average blood sugar. This is getting to another level. So, and then the last thing I'll say is over, we're not gonna do this today, but where it says text editor, the one right over, I could take an email from Bill Bishop here and analyze his writing and see how he thinks and how he does, and if that's a positive or negative email. So the permutations of this is unreal. So I'm already anxious
This
to
is
create a
emotional
product here.
intelligence, right? It's like
Yeah.
like the writing one, you know, somebody wrote me a letter and like, how did they really feel when they were writing that? It starts to give you some sense of that, right? The
Yeah.
tone or the words used or something, right?
Yeah.
So file analysis, that means that you can upload a file and it will, like a video file, and it will analyze it for you.
Yeah,
So
so
my
Bill,
big picture here is I hope we take this to another level. Like, I can't wait to see the toys that are coming out.
Uh-huh.
yeah, so Bill, as Harvey was talking, it was showing that you were bored and tired. Were you feeling that way?
Not really.
Nice call out there, Doug.
Yeah. So, actually, I just posted there's a video, Privacy Loss. If people haven't seen that on
Yeah.
YouTube, you got to look at that, because this is, where you have a mother, husband and wife, and they're arguing at a dinner table, and the
Yeah.
wife is seeing what it's like, well, the AI is telling you that you're lying, and it's like, so,
Wild. Well,
the question
that
is,
starts to be like the Black Mirror episode. I think there was a few of them where they were
Yeah.
basically running into this problem, like people's relationships are getting all screwed up because the AI was saying, well, you were angry. I'm going, I wasn't angry. Well, the AI said you were angry, and and like you were lying, and I wasn't lying. No, but the AI said you were lying. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, this,
another
well,
rabbit
and it's
hole here,
it's
but
interesting that so the like 10 years ago, there's this company called Effectiva.
Mhm.
And the book was written by the founder, Girl Decoded. I'll put
Yeah.
that in the link as well. But what they found is that Asians, especially Chinese, did not, their system didn't register when there were other people in the room, but when they were by themselves, it did work better. And so what they said is that actually Asians are very good at hiding their facial emotions. So, it's kind of like, it will be interesting to see how this plays out. But yeah, go to your point is, will people believe the AI more than it's like, well, no, I'm not feeling this way. I'm actually happy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Or to
another
play
another
devil's
issue.
advocate, maybe deep inside he feels it and he doesn't know it.
Well,
Anyway, I'm playing it.
it's a little spooky because you start thinking, okay, bored and tired. Am I bored and tired? Maybe I'm bored and tired. I don't know. But I go, but I don't want to look bored and tired, so I better not look bored and tired when I'm talking, because the AI will tell someone else that I'm bored and tired. So we're all going to be kind of going, I better be on my best behavior because I'm being analyzed as far as my feelings and my, like,
Yeah, and I guess to be
I got a
complete, this
social score, right?
sorry, to be complete, this little speech prosody.
Yeah.
The famous saying is not what you say, but how you say it, kind of.
Yeah.
That's it. So I could sound like I'm very enthusiastic and I'm saying the right words, but that tab there, speech prosody, whatever. Sorry, it'll really look at my intonation of my words and how I say it, and it'll analyze all of that, which is crazy.
So
You
may
know?
not want. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, right? So this is the thing about this technology is it's coming, and but well, hopefully once again it'll be used for the good things, right? Just to help people. And that, I mean, obviously people will use this to not help people, but we want to be the ones that use it to help people. So anyway, so that's one to check out. It's called Hume.ai. And what they're trying to do is be able to embed that into perhaps your website, for example. So you have a bot, and people come to your website and it's talking to the person, like the camera, like a Zoom meeting, and it's able to understand how they're feeling, so it can then talk to them in a way that, well, you seem a little angry about that product or something, right? So it could maybe be able to do that. Of course, you got to be careful right now because it's pretty early on, right? You don't want to screw up things, but okay. So let me get out of there.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to wonder if I am bored and tired. I don't know. I'm second guessing myself. No. There we go. I'm good.
Just a quick question for Harvey. It says on the website here, trusted by with that. So when we deal with this and it's not so trusted, I'm just looking at Hume AI's website. At the bottom it says trusted by lawyers.com. University of Chicago. I just think it's interesting. Just an observation.
And just so you know that their angle here, and they're actually smart in that they're trying to be the sandwich. So you could do ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whoever you feel like, but then the whole idea for them is to sandwich this thing. So then it puts it between you and this other thing, whatever that is, Claude GPT, and now they can make business 24/7. Because now they can integrate into customer service, into the X and Y. I mean, really smart. Because when I saw that they got about $50 million, I'm like, man, that's a lot of money to make up here. But, you start having APIs, you start going in bed with certain businesses. I mean, you guys in your brain here, I'm sure every single person here has thought of one cool case that they could create a business out of just using this API. So very, very cool stuff.
Well, the one that I was talking about at one of my talks, I said, well, imagine if you had like a nightclub, and the DJ now was an AI, right? So they're using these cameras to pick up on the mood of the room, right? Or like how are people feeling? And then it would have music that would help to kind of create mood and change the mood and so on based on what it's picking up through its computer vision. So that could be really, really interesting. Or even just, your own personal entertainment, right? They're just watching something or on your phone and it's trying to keep you in a good mood. So therefore it's going to come up with things like, I can see how you're feeling right now. You're going through mood change. We're going to manage that mood or make you have certain moods or, I just see how that's going to be really, really crazy stuff. Like it's just like hard to even
Yeah.
imagine what's possible there. Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing about all of these tools is like right now we're such an early stage, but there's all these entrepreneurs thinking, well, how do I combine them together and to make something new out of it? And then it'll be like, whoa, wait a minute, I never imagined such a thing. Right. So very, very good. Okay, so we're gonna go now. We're gonna come back at 11:30 for those of you that are in the group workshop, and so there will be a roundtable next week. So you'll be getting a message about that, and also the video of my presentation today. You'll get that as well. Okay, so any last thoughts, or before we take our break here?
Thank you.
All right, go see you at 11:30. Okay, bye.
Thanks, Bill.